Good morning, everybody. My name is Katrina. I'm here to help. And how do I do that? I share my experiences through life and hope that someone else can benefit from my time here and what I did in certain situation and what I did not. So today I want to talk about why I got sterilized at 25. At 25, I removed my opportunities to have children. So why would a young woman do that? Because she just don't want to get stuck in a relationship with a man that is bad for her. Because when you have children, your fate is kind of sealed with that situation that you're in at the moment. So to understand why I did this, we have to go back through time to where at the beginning there was just my father, his mother, and my mother, basically. There was also a grandpa, but he had nothing to say in the matters that was decided on. So my father and grandmother decided most of the stuff, and my mom has nothing to say. She wanted a desk because she liked to read and have her stuff somewhere, but she wasn't allowed. Sounds archaic, just one generation back, but there's no way for her to get the desk and everything that comes with your own personal space. Grandma said, "You don't need it." No, because she was there to breed children. That was her function and raise them. So my mom was very oriented towards the kids, and that's that I saw as a young girl was that she didn't have a life of her own, basically. She insisted we call her mom and by her name, so she had some personal identity. She was a people pleaser, as you call it, and my father was not really that. It was more like big rules, pointing with the whole hand, and when he said no, it was no. And at 3 years old, my father started working nights, and I wasn't very happy about that, so I acted out. Physically, I hit him. I was very angry, and I spoke my mind. This is a very delicate age for growing up and becoming your own person, and that's what I needed him for as a child, and he wasn't there. He started to be unavailable at the time I was 3 years old, so that's very good. I felt abandoned and scared, and even as today, when I woke up at night, I feel alone and lonely. So I wake up at night at 2 o'clock each night. I have done for years. I don't know why. So that's a problem I have, and feeling abandoned, especially when I'm left to sleep in, which I never prefer. I feel abandoned and scared that I'm alone in the world, and I have nightmares the last hours of sleep anyway. So 5:30 is a good time for me to start wake up and go about my day. Or else I sleep in and have nightmares and feel abandoned, and it's not very good for me. So we went to some kind of family therapy where the therapist pointed me out as a scapegoat. "This is all your fault," she said to a little child. And the other therapist was not joining her in that, and next time he said that I'm not working with her. No. And somewhere along here I started my first psychological evaluation to see if I had some kind of autism. And my father stopped that. He, I don't know, infiltrated the team, and when my mother went there on the last session to get my answers, there was no answers to be given. He had erased them. So at a very early age, I was not allowed to understand myself. I was not allowed to express myself, and I was not allowed to be who I am. So this has followed me through the years, and now I realized that this was a way to hide stuff in the family, because children don't have a social filter like adults have. So a good way to hide if there's a problem in the family is to hide away the evaluations, the reports of officials, government officials, or officials in social services and stuff like that. So that was my father's special skill. He was connected into the system and charmed his way to the case officers, and could engineers create the situations as he felt. I spoke to him as an adult about this, and he said that information wouldn't have helped me. But I turned 40, I don't know how I am, and I wake up at night feeling abandoned. So I don't really agree with him that the information wouldn't have helped me. So to cover up that stuff wasn't managed right at the home, we were taught to keep our heads down and stay quiet, to not be put in foster care. So there were a lot of fighting, but the bottom line was, well, you can stay here with us, or you can go to foster care. Well, you know, it's better at home, right? So, devil you know. At this time, my father started a relationship with a new woman, and she's been present in my life ever since then until the day I cut ties with them. Yes, I did. I cut all ties with them because it didn't really do anything for me to have a father that was more concerned about his cats than his daughter. So that's very sad, but well, I'm better off without him. In school, I was different than the other children. I had this special way of being, and Andrew from North Daily here said this in the video recently, that if you are an empath and you have a bright light, which I think I did, all the children were at my place after daycare. I didn't get a spot in daycare, but all the children were at my place. So before they developed social filters and stuff, they were at my place having fun. And then when it was printed in our brains how we were supposed to be, I was not checking the boxes, and I was left out. I was bullied, and wasn't in any particular friend groups or nothing. I stopped caring what the other children were doing after some time, and I moved on with my stuff, and that felt good for me. Yes, and this was very bad for a person who was developing themselves, that they couldn't be themselves. It's hard to develop something that you're not allowed to be, right? So when I was 16, I found my way, and I started to partying, and that's a common thing for many children. But in that time, I felt normal for the first time. I felt happy, and I felt like I could do anything. So of course it was an escape from the hectic family life where my mama was sad all the time, and my brother looked like he was like when you pour water on a goose and it all runs off them. But I understand later on in my life that that was not the case at all. He was very hurt also, and was very. My father spoke very badly to him, and I don't know really why. So there we were. I had to feel everything in the family because mom was very sad all the time, and I just all the emotions went into me, and I was very, very sad and depressed as a young teen and young woman. Everything was expensive because we were a big family, and we always had to think about the bills and the everything, the food. In the end of the month there was not much food left, so we had red beets on bread, on hard bread, and well, it was okay, we survived, but still it was no really planning there, I think, because they had a very strange thing about the expenses. So I think my mother paid a lot more than my father did. Yes. So this ended in some way in the process when I was 16, and I was at a party, and I was picked up by the police, unfortunately, and put in the car, and I refused to go into a cell, and I said, you have to call my parents, I'm not going in there, that's not gonna happen. So I had some talks with some kind of case officer, professional, and I promised I would never do it again. And well, I was a very good liar. So to not put in foster care, I lied, and I could stay at my parents' house until I was ready to leave by my own accord. So that was the content I had for today. Why does a young girl get sterilized? She never gonna put herself in the situation that her mom was in, and with very bad family relationships when she was young. So I hope that my story can help you to find out who you are and be all you can be, and ignore all the naysayers. You are the most important person, and always protect yourself first. So thank you for listening, and have a good day. Bye.